Hey, welcome. You're the new associate, right? Yep, you're in the right place. I'm Anna. I mostly run the circus. Mostly. Sorry I wasn't there to meet you when you interviewed. I was a bit tied up. But I'm here now, and I'm going to take you around and get you settled. That work for you? Great. This way, I'll take you to the employee area first so you can put your stuff in a locker. Did you find the place okay? Did you drive or... Okay, great. And you parked in staff parking? It's fine. That's perfect for now. I'll get you a sticker just in case, but they don't usually bother to check. No one's pretending to be staff here. And our parking lot isn't convenient to anything else. That's one thing this place has going for it. Plenty of parking. Okay, here you go. This is your locker. Put your stuff in there, including your phone. You can't have that on you when you're working, but you will have a tablet and an emergency pager button for, well, emergencies. Oh yeah, your things are definitely safe in here. The room is lead-lined, fireproof, freeze-proof, and has its own ventilation system. It matters, trust me. And this right here, this is your key card. It's already assigned to you. It'll get you into this room, as well as most other rooms around here. There are rules about going into residence rooms, though, of course. We'll get to that later. Oh yeah, you'll get your full orientation. It'll probably take the better part of a day, but it'll answer all your questions and make sure you feel comfortable working here. That's the point, right? Right. Okay, before we do any of that, how about I take you around, introduce you to some of the residents, give you a nice tour. Does that work? Great. Come this way, keep that key card on you. There you go. It'll basically be your ID while you're here. You'll scan in for your shift with it, all that good stuff. You might want to put it on a lanyard or something. Yeah, maybe a really strong one. You know, just in case. Right, so this way, down the hall. I assume you know what our focus is here at Shady Shores. Right, exactly. It's sort of a known secret. We don't publicize it, we don't advertise it, but most of the heroes, when they retire, they end up here. The word of mouth is really good. We save so much in marketing costs. Oh, sure. Heroes talk, you know. A lot of them are friends while they're still active. They work together, they hang out together, fight supervillains together, that sort of thing. It's very bonding. And then when they retire, they like to be where their friends are. It just makes sense. I mean, the same with the villains to a lesser extent. They tend to be more on their own when they're working, but when they get caught, they make friends in prison. Or the asylum, depending on where they go. And again, in retirement, they like friendly faces around them. Even villains are human, you know. We don't have quite as many villains as heroes, of course. Villains are more likely to die before retirement age, either because they get killed by heroes or they kick off in prison, but we do have a few. They're an interesting bunch, very lively. Oh, don't worry, you'll be perfectly safe here. We have lots of fail-safes in place to keep the residents from burning the place down, metaphorically. Also, literally. You'll learn all about that stuff in orientation. Really, the most important thing is to keep your eyes and ears open. Talk to the other staff if you're not sure about something, and make sure your health insurance is up to date. I mean, I don't know any jobs that don't hit you with a bunch of paperwork when you start, including the insurance stuff. This is no different. Now then, this is one of our common areas. We have a few like this, spread out around the campus. Most of the residents spend time here during the day. It's nice and sunny, lots of windows. Also, plenty to do. There are games, puzzles, books, the TV, of course. The piano doesn't get used much, but a few of the residents play. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. You'll find that most of the furniture is bolted down for safety. A few of the residents have telekinetic powers, and as they get older, they sort of lose control of them. There was an incident a few years ago with a resident accidentally lifting a table and dropping it on another resident, so now everything is just bolted down. Oh no, they were fine. It was a lucky thing. The table happened to fall on a resident that had stone skin, so it just broke over their head instead of, breaking them. Still made a mess, just no one was hurt. But just in case, everything is bolted down now. Some things are on tracks, so they can be moved, and other things have locks on them that you can access to do the things you need to do. But mostly it's just a general locking of all heavy objects. Better safe than sorry, you know? It's still not completely solved. We get cups and books and such that get relocated on the regular, but at least no one's taking an ottoman to the face. Oh, look, this is Ethan. Ethan's one of our residents, one of my favorites. But he won't repeat that, will you, Ethan? No, he can't, because he can't talk at all. Ethan's a telepath, to the point that he doesn't have speech of any kind. Back when he was active in the hero life, he went by the name Vein Brain. Kinda weird, but I guess it's accurate. He only communicates with his mind. Yeah, that's the thing. It used to be useful, maybe a bit unsettling. But now that he's drifting a bit in his old age, the only telepathy he's been doing is cat pictures. Oh yes, for at least 6 months now, nothing but cat pictures. Stand close enough to him for a few minutes and he'll project some really adorable kittens into your head. It's nice, actually. Very soothing. Like I said, one of my favorites. We're all grateful that he's fixated on cats and not something a lot worse. Anyway, good seeing you, Ethan. You take care and get a snack later if you need one. Gotta keep your strength up. He's fine. He has no trouble getting what he wants. He just can't talk about it. You'll find the quiet ones are sometimes the most pleasant to be around. Okay then, do you have any questions so far? We do offer activities, stuff like crafts and art lessons and Tai Chi, but we don't force the residents to join in on them. They have a lot of autonomy, other than not really being able to leave here. They can do more or less what they like. Most definitely. We don't have a lot of patience here for retirement homes that treat the elderly like babies. Some need extra care, of course, especially if their minds are going or they have trouble getting around. But for those who still have their wits about them, they're just people. Maybe with some powers here and there, but, people. They're allowed to spend their time how they please. It's just the right thing. These are the heroes that kept us safe for so long, They had lives. Least we can do is let them live out those lives with some dignity. Good. Glad you see it that way. I've been to some long-term care facilities, and they act like the minute a resident steps through the door, they relinquish all right to be treated as human. They get wrapped in diapers and fed applesauce and told what to do. It's so depressing, and really unhealthy, too. Okay, well, as long as we're on the same page, this way. I'll take you down to the dining hall. Oh, those buttons? Those are the emergency alerts. Most halls and major rooms have them. They're for actual catastrophic emergencies, which, I'll be honest, don't happen very often. Things like fire, flooding, tornadoes, active shooters, chemical weapons, biological weapons, death curses, henchmen on the premises. You get the idea. Everything's color-coded, and you'll get the codes list when you get your orientation packet. Definitely learn what's what, just in case. But we rarely have an issue. Yep, easy. Okay, through here is the dining hall. We serve full meals at mealtimes, but there's also a snack counter where the residents can grab things to nibble on between meals. And at the actual mealtimes, we offer a nice variety of options. We can adapt to most specialty diets. Except for Albert. You'll meet him later. His diet is mostly whale blubber and polar bear meat that's been cured in an ice cave for 10 years and then marinated by moonlight, so we have to ship that stuff in separately. Everyone else, though, they find something they like here. The chefs pride themselves on getting creative with the menus. Hey, I choose to eat here myself most days. What does that say? Oh, hey, it's Ginny. How are you? Yep, this is Ginny, another resident. You might know her better as Genuflect. She was a church-themed hero back in the day. Yeah, that's the one. She did some great stuff. Also ran a few holy wars, not that we dwell on that too much. But now she hangs out here with us, and we're really lucky to have her. You coming to movie night tonight, Ginny? I don't think it has any blasphemy in it. What do you think? Do you think Cars 2 has blasphemy in it? Well, that's fair, but still. Awesome. I'll definitely see you there. Oh, right, yeah. Bless you, too? Okay, then. Come on, let's go. Yeah, she's a bit pious, but she's not bad. You get used to her. She's not swinging a flaming sword around anymore, so things have improved. How about we go this way, toward the residence halls? Where? Oh, out there? The bushes? Yeah, I see what you mean. That's Duke Devilish, one of our villains. He just goes by Devlin most of the time now. He's a spry one, that guy. Keeps trying to organize the other villains into a league of evil, but most of them are too busy napping. Oh, he thinks we can't see him. He forgets sometimes that we can see him, even if he can't see us. No, don't wave. Let him believe he's hidden. If it makes him happy to sneak around, that's fine. And this way we can see him doing it. It wouldn't be great if he suddenly figured out how to actually hide, you know? Like I said, they're mostly harmless. Don't worry too much about the villains. I feel bad for them, if I'm honest. Well, think about it. You spend your life trying to take over the world and end up in an assisted living home? Probably feels like a bit of a step down. Anyway, this way, please. The residence halls. All right. Most of the residents who can get around on their own are in this hall. We have other halls for the ones who need extra assistance. I'll show you those later. But this is the general residence area. Sort of little apartments. They have private bathrooms, and the bathrooms have emergency cords in them, just like in a hospital. No kitchens, but we do let them have coffee makers and toasters if they like. Most don't bother. They like the food here. Now, some of the rooms are singles, and some are doubles. This one here, for example, this is a double. Let me just... There we go. Take a look. Nice, right? Plenty of space. This room is John and Barry's room. John you would probably know as Silver Swoosher, that hero that flew everywhere, and Barry was the Baronator. Yes, actually, and you'd think a hero and a villain in the same room would be strange, right? But no, it works. They get along just fine. They're friends even. Oh yeah, Barry, stop that. I can see you. Yes, I can. The police took your invisibility coat a long time ago. I can see you just fine. What do you think you're doing? Well, knock it off. You can't just do that to someone else's bed. It's not your property. He most certainly does not have it coming. John hasn't done anything to you. Not lately, anyway. It doesn't matter. You're not allowed to do any of that. Just put it down. Okay, but think about how sad you'd be if that worked. If John got into bed and then he blew up into a million chunks, who would be your roommate? Who would you try to mess with all the time? You'd probably be pretty lonely if you're honest with yourself. And you might end up with a much worse roommate than John. I know, it's worth thinking about. Maybe give me the remote detonator. That's it. Just hand it to me. There we go. I'll have an orderly get all this C4 out of here. And then we'll figure out where you got the C4, okay? Don't be like that. You know you can't just go around blowing up roommates. We've talked about this so many times. Besides, I know deep down that you like John. Yes, you do. He brought you ice cream the other day and you smiled. I saw you. So maybe it's time to let go of those silly, lifelong rivalries and just enjoy each other's company, okay? Okay, why don't you go get a book from the library and do some reading? Might calm me down a bit. Take the edge off those destructive tendencies. And also, I think I'll pencil you in for the next group session, just in case. I know, but then again, look what you almost did, right? Right. We don't want you sent back to the prison. We like you being here. Try not to get yourself kicked out over something stupid. Okay, I'll be back to check on you later. You don't have any more detonators around, do you? Good. See you in a bit, Barry. Be good. Yeah, well, sometimes there are friction points, but we work through those and move on. It's tough when they've done things a certain way their whole lives. They forget that things are different now. They fall back into their old habits. And apparently they can still sometimes get C4 when they want it. I need to make a note to look into that. But most of the time it's all friendly around here. Honestly, a great place to work. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Oh, careful there. Jeff is coming by. Make room. Hey, you. Looking good today, Jeff. Did you polish your walker? It's so shiny. Well, it looks great, and so do you. Glad to see you up and around. Try not to knock anyone over on your way to the dining hall. Yeah, Jeff used to be called the Golden Gust. He was super fast. Now, well, his knees bother him, you know? Slows him down quite a bit, even with the walker. But on the upside, he can tell us when it's going to rain like 10 days in advance. Better than any weather guy. All right, I think next we should move into the more assisted side of the building, but before we do that, do you have any questions? What? I told you it's totally safe. We run a tight ship here. Nothing at all to worry about. Especially if you pay attention and follow your training. I could see why you might think that, but it's really okay. I'll get rid of that C4 and it'll be just fine. Great, that makes me happy. Come on, then there's more to see. And then your orientation and paperwork and organ donor card. You know, just in case. Actually, I need to go take care of... Yeah, just wait here. I'll be back soon. Hey there, don't forget to leave a comment on this audio because I pinned my favorite comment in all the newest audios. Also, shout out to Gyoza Bomb. You're this audio's randomly selected sweetness patron. Support me on Patreon if you want the chance to be shouted out next. The link is in the description, along with all of my other channels and all the ways you can support me. You are the reason I can keep this channel going, so thank you, and thanks for listening.